This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Yabamina kwaba from Boadu TV so na endra yanti asem de kra ne nyina ne se mame Akua Donkor ehwe ne kra ewo Rich Hospital na ne emobopa se obi a wabre ewo Ghana politics me se opese ne dimba ballot paper so na fin dia ba so mama wi no we film wabra yento abakraye na so sad sad na wafri mwesa na manfo bisa se tizeze be ballot mfofra na ana se omo fiti number 4 no beba o manim number 4 beba number 3 number 5 beba number 4 na se ne ko ba sadia baumia NGCPP dia ombe wo number 1 and 2 na but dia kiri nyina besesa na ni Mahama number 8 awa print ho t-shirt ni posters e bende wow ne bi nso kase your friend say Roman father na ahane running mate no ene nko munyi ono no nya flag bearer no nko hye number 3 ne sa se na be answer sai be am paper no so ensem ni bebi na easy finally what the omo be ni nyina aba bontin yes so omo ebe new ballot no so be do nyina aba in letter or choye ama Kevin Teller akinkan a chirechire mu kama asa ni bia kan say wanhwa ade no isi beka se omamu wechi ni nyina ye twem do omo benim ana se ye kwa new ballot wa wonti ase a ebe NDC for mo de beko court no court beka che omo say omo ti da isi kan che so go back to easy Kavitela no na odi yeti no
sa ko kan che police for say nipa no pami ekome ento obebu samede asa mete he ahe na me wana me ka no my say nti wa pami ekome nti se me wu Akua do na ekome
anti
Akua Donkor aka kire mo se owu a Akua do na ekuno and from the statement from Chairman to me the way they want the number what ballot paper so best santi it is clear say MPP for the ku Akua Donkor eno ano no MPP for the ku JB Dankwa MPP for the ku John Kuma MPP for any ku eden Akua Donkor case die yati Ghana eda ho esoso nsem so yati Ghana esoso nsem so na na do Dankwa Akua de ne MPP for omudi ewu now mama yenko yenim wedwa Kevin Teller we mu ade mesi de maka no enim afa me court inti announcement na maye no na do Dankwa Akua Donkor di kaka kire so opene ku no owu a mumuse Akua do yete ala chema wutu beka se omo be change positions no omo ku Akua Donkor omo wi a omo be ku den apalu by 2 weeks time the apalu so omo ku no MPP ne ku John Kuma ebesinde ye hu nipa ku John Kuma chema wuntumi ene John Kuma ene dia confirm back ye se chema wuntumi ba omia doctor de ene save no John Kuma de ye save no wuye de a John Kuma wuye ena na pobo dam JB Dankwa ena ma Akua do $50 million say onfanko contest campaign ena kaso openisika ena omosmaye emekuku den JB Dankwa sexy don police for chino on one ni statement mu any video mu ka say John Kuma JB Dankwa wu no Akua do nim hu bi enti also tell us a pathway no eyokunfu dumfu enti also tell us bibia yedu no now mama yanka Electoral Commission for ho asem na yenko yenim. Now this is a story I want to spend about 20 minutes on na mapon na makofie me na me yere na memma ai na sebio ya num nsu pa enye galamse nsuo yedi eduane pa enye galamse nsuo ene yedi guso na sebio ya da empapa so a sebio enye galamse ena yede yeye Akua Donkor. Now EC has informed GFP to make arrangements to nominate a new candidate following the death of party's presidential candidate Akua Donkor. Akua Donkor wu eman eye apalutiase onyame tie yesufre. Now I say Electoral Commission no and the krata beto abontene say eye Akua Donkor party no omunyi eye dean flag bearer na eye print na omo print ballot papers no isi se omujai je mensa aje instructions free Jubilee House say samoku Akua Donkor wi a me pese be fa kwan bi so na afi John Mahama number 8 no yesesa no na nkema John Mahama free 8 wo because breaking the 8 there John Mahama be breaking binti ene Jane Mensa ni isi for say Akua Donkor ewu omo ma Akua Donkor party no be 10 days say omo fa flag bearer from ra ansana eye ballot papers na omo print ya maka be 10% ni ewie no omo toaso. I want to say this, the ballot papers near the koto abano about 90% ya print ewie. Now already easy for press release omo de ba abontinia mamen kan na mindwudwam na Ghana for ehu de eko. Death of 2024 presidential candidate Madam Akua Donkor, 29th of October 2024. I'm sorry, 29th of October 2024. Now, EC4 statement of the buyer and I make the Electoral Commission has today received information on the unfortunate passing of the presidential candidate of the Ghana Freedom Party (GFP), Madam Akua Donkor. May she rest in peace. While the 1992 Constitution and the Public Elections Regulations 2020 CI 127 are not clear on processes to follow in the event of the death of a presidential candidate, Article 54 of the 1992 Constitution provides as follows, and I quote, where at the close of nomination but before the elections, one of the candidates dies, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nomination, end of quote. The commission has since informed the GFP to make arrangements to nominate a new candidate and inform the commission accordingly. In the meantime, the commission has suspended the printing of presidential ballot papers, which was near completion. See the last statement, almost say, in the meantime, the commission has suspended the printing of presidential ballot papers, which was near completion. Thank you. Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairman, Operations. Easy for say, Oma te say eye Akua Donkor sebio watwa nananom ewon siedo na Ghana mrano sebio emra ebo omodwumadie no ho ban a 1992 Constitution eye emra kase a ebo Ghana ho no sebio emu eye emu baby ekire say any Electoral Commission for so emra baby kire say sebio was say omuka kire party ni say omo enadu omuntumi fa obi embehye Akua Donkor nan na mum omukasa no omu say Ghana eye emra kase ne enhyeda eni emra poti bia edawa ekire de ewo se omufa so se obi a ope emampanyini edi a sebio ye beto aba no ofiri mu a na mum isi wo mra kuma bi a eda ho a sebio ye nyina ye betumi afa so na saa emra no ena mo frɛ no CI 127 2020 ena omode saa mra no bae no na saa mra no kyerɛ sɛ obi epe franka anase omampanyina di na ye kwa akoto aba na sɛ ofiri mu a party na sebio odi omonim anase oyo omo franka tufo no saa party no de omo ye ne sɛ omoma party no enadu na party no enyi nipa foforo na sebio omonya den ombedi omonim no mkotu den akantuo akansie no na isi kasa no omo se eye papers a sebio yekoto eye enwo aba ma yehu bebia obi abeda no a ye rekoto aba no omo ankasa eba atoma no mutuo se eye papers a ye printed yakoto aba 2024 December ya aka ena eduasa 9 nkron no almost a papers in there. Almost printed the door. In fact, almost chichemu ohanchichemu a beye ediokron 90% there. Papers almost printed we are Akua Donkor edi and then the picture etaraso. Nemum almost brand kyerɛ sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ ɔmoma ɛyɛ Akua Donkor party no ɔmo deɛ ɔmoma party no ɛyɛ akwanya ma sɛ ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmoma obi bɛhyɛ Akua Donkor nan a nipa no ɛbɛhyɛ Akua Donkor nan. Now saa asɛm yi a isi ɛde abɛ nipa ne nsa ɛhyɛ aseɛ no yɛfrɛ no ɛyɛ Samuel Tete ɔno so yɛ another kromfo a ɔwɔ isi Now, obi bebusa say na asema abeyi Electoral Commission sebio ye nyina yenim say Electoral Commission a printing election papers and a ballot papers edu be 90% no. Say asema si say ni say ye jai ballot papers ne printi na yama Akua Donkor party no 10 days say omunyi dean omunyi eye dean another presidential candidate. Question e pese busa no say enti 90% nkrata na easy a print no. Sa nkrata bebrebe na ye di sika ne ink ya contracted different printing press mama print no. Easy say Akua Donkor party no enyi obia se omeye presidential candidate. Sa enkrata na ya print na yede eyede serial numbers nyina to so a yede credo ato ano no easy betu egu ana easy ebekoso ama ya print na ya koto aba. Na question also busa hono no say eya easy na nkasa mmra no ede ne kafa eyede se obi wu ewo eyede se all contest se obe president owu abra ya koto aba o kan eye CI 72 sorry CI 72, and this is it. Sorry, CI 75. CI 75. Where easy for Nankasa Emra. Okay, CI 75 now. Now, 2012, and a Sambra we, Yashen or Ghana, and no easy Emra Nibi. Almost say, death of a candidate. Now, where an election is to be held, and the candidate dies on the eve of the election and proof of the death of the candidate is given to returning officer before the commencement of the poll, the returning officer shall put on hold proceedings in relation to the election and inform the commission. Almost say easy say omumbra le kire se yakoto aba na se ebia enne ana ochena ana ada ye beto aba no se presidential candidate bi eden a ewu a yesi isi mra ne kire se e wo se officer na returning officer na ohwe sa aba so no and the Ghana ye ka returning officer of Ghana's election agent mensa ye to aba ni nyina ewi a returning officer of Ghana's election no agent mensa. So uba regional your returning officers, but Ghana ankasa ye ka returning officer nipa ye de abani nyina besi de naso mane kinkan nyina ka bom e ka kire ya Jane Mensa adukwe Mensa and a returning officer isi mrano eye CI 75 ne kire say ye koto aba na presidential candidate bi wu a e wo say nipa na oye returning officer ohwe abado so no e wo se ohodi abano no make sure say eye saa asem na yesi no ye betu anamon ansa na ya den ansa na yakoso ato abano. Now 2 no say the commission shall on receipt of information under the sub regulation 1 adjourn the poll and allow a period of 10 days for the political party to which the candidate belonged to nominate a new candidate. Intimbrani chere say eye isi no ebe gina abano bebi ejine bia no na wa ma eye political party no inedu 10 days for that political party to elect a new flag bearer and then they can go ahead and conduct the elections. Now, my question here is, what if say Akua Donkor party no entimi enyi a presidential candidate? What if say MPP for we know will do everything possible from stopping Akua Donkor political party no from electing a presidential candidate or nominating a presidential candidate to come and contest no? What will be the next move of the EC? A question amibusa. Because when BB EC nankasa krata mu no almost say presidential ballot papers no almost printed 90%, meaning abano papers abano they are almost done in printing the papers. Because I will share documentation we are printing presses are almost air printed around the nation. No, Oko back press Ashanti regional and Savannah. They have printed and basically they have even boxed all the papers. Almost printing paper nevi. Aka air 3 numbers be on bisham. Almost party representatives at the locks in Bami at the Atuano. Technically, papers now Eko Ashanti regional and Savannah no. Air back press no. They have printed about 95% over. So as Act Commercials, Upper West, Upper East, almost about 90% presidential, Oma print here, Oba InnoLink, almost print it. Oba Checkpoint, Oma print it. Fund Start, Oma print it. Yasaku, Sanko Fuena, Easy, so Oma cancel contract, you know. Ghana Publishing Company. Into all these publishing companies are almost printed ballot papers, you know. They have done about 90% of the presidential ballots. Meaning, about 90% of the presidential ballot, you know, Akua Donkor enim daso. Now, Easy say, Wama Akua Donkor party, no, 10 days. Akua Donkor party, no, any, anase omo nominate a new flag bearer. Na Easy, no, and take into one amount. So the question to the Electoral Commission and say, so Ochina, Akua Donkor party, no, a flag bearer. Are we going to discard? And our papers say ya print here we are almost 90%. Mwanga say ya print most of them, you know. Are we going to throw them away and now can put Akua Donkor part, you know, the new flag bearer's face before we reprint all this ballot papers? Bima na just a question. Now, my mention the NPP for person ye. My mention the Jane Mensa episode ye. My mention the next move of the NPP. Akua Donkor na umukuno no. They killed Akua Donkor because they wanted a ballot no. John Mahama number 89 the Ghana for nyina agatu no. Omo pese omo pe kuti kwan bi so no mu change a ballot the number no. Na John Mahama free 8. Now this is what they are going to do. And Ghana for should be alert. Nobody should allow Jane Mensa and the EC. And they say eba sana election na yekotono. I will say these people are bent on destroying our democracy. Because in any country, Akua Donkor, statistics from Baka. Akua Donkor in our elections only 200,000 votes da. Akua Donkor is insignificant when it comes to Ghana's elections. And yes, sir, this is the first time of Akua Donkor up contesting in Ghana's elections. This is the about third time a GFP party no air contesting. Now, when you go back into history, the GFP and I say Akua Donkor party no, they have not made any significant inroads when it comes to numbers that can decide elections. Yet here and your call Supreme Court election 2020, and Chief Justice Enin Yaboane Tokonu Ekachire say NDC ana isi kra e de sa constituencies ni bi na yentumi ankan no kra beka NDC ho a it is not significant enough to turn over the elections, meaning that word significant, you know, it plays a very important role here. Now you come back to the first time Akua Donkor contested Ghana's election. When we go back to the first time Akua Donkor contested here to the last election we conducted in Ghana from 2020 and 2023, two times now, Akua Donkor has not gotten over 100,000 votes. Meaning, if today Akua Donkor's party is out of the elections, or we leave Akua Donkor's picture to still run, at the end of the day, no, whatever Akua Donkor will get will still be insignificant. It will not change the outcome of the elections. Into reasonable Ghanaians, no, at this point, we are looking at an EC that will be rational and reasonable enough to say, Senke John Baumia wu ya the number of voter NPP ekuta. Sabaumia nanke wu yenim said the NPP made some significant inroads in 2020 elections, and that their number is significant. They can win elections, so it is very important we do this. But as we speak, Akua Donkor, since contesting Ghana's election twice, Akua Donkor has not even made 100,000 votes. Her inclusion in the elections, whether the candidate is changed or not changed, it will not affect the general outcome of the election. So changing or stopping the printing of the ballot, it's not necessary. And at the end of the day, Akua Donkor is not significant. I'm talking about Akua Donkor GFP party, their inclusion and also what they bring to the party, it is insignificant. It cannot change the outcome of the election. Because Akua Donkor say Anka Sebio, with all due respect, if she was alive, she was not going to pull 100,000 votes. So a country where we have been able to print ballot papers, presidential ballot papers, about 90% of them. Why do we say if even Akua Donkor party and to me unfilled the obia, we need to leave the papers the way they are and go into the elections. And then a reasonable person be abeka. But let me tell you, the NPP, Jane Mensah, Bosman Asare, Tetemono, how many NPP for the coup Akua Donkor? The idea ni nyina say omo pese omo dane election no eye de number 8 na John Mahama dane omo pese omo yi free ho omo pese omo find the way na omo yi John Mahama free 8 ho because omo nim say kian ne kin Ghana for age John Mahama number 8 na tum and Ghana for nyina beto ma John Mahama na ma men kire strategy a omo epese omo adapt. Now this is the strategy Jane Mensah NPP for pese omo adapt with this Akua Donkor demise. Now, Obi the EC Beko court. Somebody will take the Electoral Commission to court very soon. Nipa na the EC Beko court no. Obeka check Ghana for say or a concerned citizen. Or the EC Beko court say Omuyi Akua Donkor the picture no free ho say Akua Donkor unfilled it and I say GFP. What I'm telling you is that the NPP will do everything possible to stop Akua Donkor party no from nominating a presidential candidate. Now, say Ebasana, another MPP person will go to Supreme Court and tell the court to say Akua Donkor party name to me any presidential candidate. I will say Akua Donkor party no more ballot paper no see kem. NPP for because Supreme Court. See, NPP for will do everything to stop Akua Donkor pathway from fielding a presidential candidate. Now, say omenya presidential candidate amba NPP for we have nipa ba ko say onko court. Na onko kan check court say Akua Donkor party no and to me amfa obi amba be Akua Donkor 9 dia. And the was set sa Akua Donkor baby oda no e will see a yini number ni free o yini free na yes sa numbers no. That is number 1. Now, number 2, Jane Mensah any EC, what they are going to do is almost be emergency IPAC meeting. See, say nipa the assembly quarter. Jane Mensah Bossman, how many MPP for any Apalumu meeting? No ma fre emergency IPAC meeting. Now, almost emergency IPAC meeting now. 90% of NPP for now omo IPAC almost say omo ye Apalu any sanko for no makekano. They will all say they support the Electoral Commission say Omuyi Akua Donkor party no free number 3 or so whatever it is no. Now what is going to happen is say Beka say that is what IPAC is saying, and that any political party at IPAC that will disagree should go to court for interpretation. Court one da ho osono maame. First of all, they will say Akua Donkor, they will stop Akua Donkor party from fielding a presidential candidate. Eba sana na obi de eye sa eye asem no akọ court. MPP for no be obi de akọ court. Say di panel the EC court na EC afre emergency IPAC meeting. EC afre emergency IPAC meeting na. They will make sure say MPP surrogates no more IPAC meeting ya because say yes, EC should take out Akua Donkor. Now, say EC should take out the Akua Donkor party in free. Now EC will say majority of IPAC no say say it is a political party now you don't agree. Obviously NDC will not agree. A party are reasonable to say Afafranto Alan Cash will not agree. And some other people are somebody like Hassan Ayaraga, I don't trust him. He will go with the NPP people. That's what he does all the time. He does business when it comes to politics. Now the rational ones will disagree. And the EC will say, oh, per the vote, majority of the parties at IPAC are saying, they side with us. So we want to go ahead and take Akua Donkor out and do re-balloting or change the number now, Ubia Wano. Then EC will say, any party that disagrees can go to Supreme Court. Now, Uko Supreme Court, Osama Ami will be sitting there waiting. Tokonu, and Tokonu is an MPP communicator. So when you go to Tokonu will tell you say EC is right and that you should go back in less than 24 hours. No, thank you very much. In just 24 hours, Madam Tokonu will put a committee, a team together and decide on the case in less than 24 hours. So Jemensa NDC Foko Court say could seek interpretation for the actions of EC. Madam Tokonu will use less than 24 hours to put a group of judges together to say the EC is right and that the NDC should go back and listen to the EC. Because listen, when you look at Ghana's election, let me show you this. These are real facts. I'm sure facts you are. Look at these facts. The reason why it is not important for the EC to even touch the ballot paper. The EC should continue and print all the papers. Because Ghana's election, this is the election. When results no, now results on the screen is we're a summary of the 2020 presidential election results without Techiman South constituency. Now, Akua Donkor party a GFP. Akua Donkor did not get more than 5,000 votes. Akua Donkor didn't get even 6,000 votes. The whole election now, in 2020, Akua Donkor got 5,500 people voting for her. So what should stop us from printing the ballot papers? Because Akua Donkor, whether we allow her in or not, whether they have a presidential candidate or not, her number is insignificant. And there is no way Akua Donkor can win elections in Ghana. It is also number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5, Akua Donkor, the summary of 2020 elections now, only 5,000, Akua Donkor, 5,574 people voting for her. So why is the EC stopping the printing? After 10 days, say Akua Donkor party to be a presidential candidate, it should stay the same. The EC should not try. Said they will touch the voting paper and say they want to change the numbers and the positions of any political party. Because Akua Donkor's political party does not add anything to the elections. So Akua Donkor 4 million votes. I can say yes, she can win elections. But Akua Donkor 6,000 votes in just 2020 elections. So why are we even stopping the printing? You just have to tell Akua Donkor party and say, you know something, we cannot do anything about it. When somebody votes for Akua Donkor, you can come and present somebody's name. But when somebody votes for Akua Donkor, the person is technically voting for a party. But you cannot say you are stopping the printing and that you are going to change the numbering and that because of Akua Donkor is very, very insignificant in Ghana's elections. Now, this is a typical example. Namapong, it's exactly 8:06 p.m. What we are experiencing today at EC and Akua Donkor Assembly, to make it very easy for you and to make it very rational for you, Namimpong show is simple. WAEC conducting elections, examinations. At the end of the day, there are so many students elections, exams. Obu oha no anyam wentumi ametro exams no. Obu oha wonya accident wentumi ametro exams no. Obu oha oyare serious wentumi antro exams no. Obu oha ye registration wie ye ma obia index number because WAEC say ye ba betro exams a wasi no ye register student bia ema student bia de unique number friend no desk and as index number. Now on election day say a week to elections na se school bi hu se student bi sebio wewu ana onyem ana oyare seriously ontumi mpo entra WAEC does not take out that student's index number. What happens is when they print the papers, they print the exams papers, those students, their papers are printed. The exams still goes on. WAEC does not say because this student oyare, this student onyem, this student with all due respect want to mean exams the index numbers we have to reprint all index numbers into. So 2 million students never try exams now. We need to go back and redo the index numbers. It does not work like that. WAEC still sticks by the principles. The index numbers stay and people go there to write into exams rooms desk na empty. na paper da so, index number da so, because WAEC still recognize the index number. WAEC does not go back and reprint all the papers because nipa mienu ana miensa are not writing the exams. WAEC still goes ahead. Into WAEC printed 20 million papers because Kevin Taylor is not writing the exams, or because 20 students are not writing the exams from one school, we will have to change all the index numbers. WAEC goes on to print the papers, and what WAEC does is at the election day, on examination day, they bring out the paper, put the paper on the desk, that index number paper not on the desk. After the exams, they collect those papers. So why is the Electoral Commission our printed papers 90%? Say because Akua Donkor after 10 days, Akua Donkor party into Mahama presidential candidate amba, we have to nullify and change the ballot paper. That is evil. Ghana, for nobody should allow this. So James and MPP for try anything silly. We should let them understand we are the people. The NDC as a political party should not dare. John Mahama is number 8, and nobody at the Electoral Commission can change that. We are the people. The elections, we will have it. Baby Obia Peki Yanobaumia the number 1, he will stay number 1. John Mahama the number 8, he will stay number 8. And that is what we are going with. Say Papa Anyashia Bonnie Anyashi. And a bear medibeja Jimensa any East MPP. Say Papa Anko ka preda enka papa. Say Bibi Anko ka bibia, Bibi enka bibi. So Obia nyo Obia bibia, Obia so entumi nyo Obia bibia.